Excellent. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone for being here tonight. Thank you for your patience. I'm coming in very last minute from an outdoor event, so I am very cold, but I'm very happy to be here. Let's start by going around and just introducing ourselves and maybe saying a book you're reading or have just recently read and a sentence or two about what you love about it. I'm Amy Blondin and I've been on the board for I don't know, a couple of years now, so yeah.
2-3 years.
I am reading a book called Maybe You Should Talk to Someone by Lori Gottlieb, and it's this wonderful book. It's nonfiction. She's a therapist, and it's about her work in that world, but then when she also needs to seek some mental health support for herself. So it's just really, really interesting read. Scott?
Sure, I'm Scott Robinson. I've been on the board for, wow, it's been like 5 years or so now. So glad to be here, and I'm currently reading the biography of Elon Musk. It's a pretty meaty book, so I don't know what to think of it yet. He's an interesting individual. Jury's out, and I'll report back next time and let you know.
I'm Pam Nelson and I've been on the board for, I don't know,
A while.
a while now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just finished reading Hello Darkness, which was a biography of Sandy Greenberg, and he went blind because of an undiagnosed case of glaucoma when he was a junior in college. And he became very good friends with Art Garfunkel, and that was the inspiration for that song, Hello Darkness. It's a fascinating book because he never learned Braille, didn't use a seeing eye dog, didn't use a cane of it. And it's really self-made man. And he led he's in his 70s or 80s now. He led a very interesting life. So it's a great book.
I'm Charlotte Lacey, and I am at the beginning of my second term on the board. I work in an elementary school library, so I read a lot of middle grade literature, and I'm currently reading Lisa Yee's book, Misfits. It's illustrated by Dan Santat, who is one of my favorites. So it's about a girl who, her parents travel a lot for work, so they just drop her off at this school. And the school is a former prison facility, and it's inhabited by kids who don't fit in a regular school. And I'm not very far into the book, but I think that the students there are all in training to be spies. Oh, I'll let you know more next time.
Well, James.
I'm James Murray, and this is my second term on the board. And for the last 3 weeks, I've been busy with some medical problems with my wife at home. So I bought 2 books by Ludman, but I haven't been able to open them and do anything. So I'm way behind on reading.
So you have a to be read pile,
Yes.
also known as a TBR.
Should be ready.
To
I
be
have
read.
what?
A to be read pile.
Oh, okay.
Yes, all the cool kids have one, James.
Yeah.
I've got a problem. My son from Hawaii came over for Christmas, and the one from down in Alabama came up to visit for Christmas. Between the two of them, they bought me one of these iPad things and suggested I get a cell phone because I can learn on the cell phone and then operate the iPad. I have an iPad sitting beside my chair. I have a cell phone now that sits beside it. And he's got to come back and we got to spend 1 or 2 days figuring out what does this damn thing do?
Did you buy an Apple phone, I hope?
It's about that long, but not wide.
That's information we don't have.
That's
Yes,
right.
yes.
It's got, and it comes with a telephone number.
That's all you need.
Yeah, you're ready to go.
Well, I wish you being able to get to your to be read pile soon, and that things are feeling, and your wife is feeling.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to transferring everything from my Nook all over to this iPad. But I haven't figured out how to.
Your son will get you. I'm Holly Paxton and I'm the library manager for the Lacey Timberland Library and have been since 2012. So technically I've been liaisoning to the board since that time. And I just finished JD Robb's latest Random in Death. It showed up on my Kindle yesterday morning. I finished it last night.
Wow.
And yes, I worked yesterday.
Wow.
It was very, very good. Classic Eve Rourke, future cop and her gorgeous Irish billionaire husband solving serial murders in New York in 2060 something. It's great. I love that series. Yeah. Complete escapism and it's just the best. So I highly recommend the In Death series. I think she's had like 26 or 30 out now. The first one's called Naked in Death and you should read them in order.
Naked and
Yes. JD Robb, Nora Roberts' alter ego.
Oh.
Yeah, same author, completely different voice. I don't know how she does it. It's pretty impressive. I don't like Nora Roberts' books, but I love JD Robb. It is literally the same woman. She just has a really interesting, different voice for each of her romance imprint versus her futuristic mystery imprint. Kind of cool.
I'm Sophie, and I'm currently reading Jeanette McCarty's memoir, just about accepting her mother's death and like her life in acting.
Oh, yeah.
That was
Yeah,
great. I
that
read that a
was-
few months ago.
I did too. Yeah, it was good.
It's really interesting. Yeah, because like I watched her as a kid, so it's weird to like read about everything.
Oh, were you an iCarly?
Yeah.
My kids were too.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Always good to get a few book recommendations. Before we approve the agenda, I do believe we have one change to it. Charlotte graciously recreated the minutes from the which meeting?
June
was that? The
28th.
June meeting?
June 28th.
Yes, and so, thank you, Scott.
Of course.
My assistant Scott has helped me. So we do need to add that to the review and approval of minutes along with the November one, so.
Do you need to have a motion?
Yes, please.
I will happily, I think I'm allowed to make motions now and again. I will move to amend the agenda to include the review and approval of the draft June 28th, 2023 Lacey Library Board minutes.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, great. Any other changes to the agenda? Can I get a motion to approve the agenda for tonight's meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor of approving the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, excellent. So again, thank you, Charlotte, for recreating the minutes. That was probably not the most fun activity you had on your to-do list, but I appreciate
It
it.
was the meeting where we were on the cell phone, so
Yeah.
it was a little rough.
Yes, so does anyone have any, first, has everyone had a chance to look at the minutes? And does anyone have any changes or additions?
Which minutes are we talking about?
Let's start with the June ones.
I move we approve the June minutes as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, the June 28th, 2023 minutes are approved. Now let's go to the November 29th minutes. Does anyone have any changes or additions to those?
Blake did a really nice job, by the way, Holly.
Yeah, he did.
I'm so
Okay.
glad,
That's
yes,
great.
thank you, that was, that was a little rough. I've had a few meetings that I've missed, I'm happy to be back, but yes, Blake is wonderful assistant library manager, and I'm so glad he was able to be there in my stead.
Okay, if there are no changes, can I get a motion to approve the November 29th minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Excellent. I'm not aware of anyone signed up for public comment. Holly, do you have any?
I have not received any requests. Nope, don't have any through the city either.
Okay. Next on our agenda, we had a request from the city for an update on city email addresses and advisory board stipend program. Is there a representative of the city here to?
Yeah.
Oh, great. Okay.
It's like double McDonald's. Okay, hi, my name is Kelly. I'm the Special Projects Administrator for the City of Lacey. Mainly, I work on modernization efforts, so trying to communicate better, trying to meet the need of the growing community that we have. And Alyssa is our city clerk. Alyssa, I'll let you introduce yourself.
I'm Melissa Fontaine, city clerk. I recognize you from all the other library board meetings that we help facilitate. So
Yes.
thank you for making the time and letting us be on the agenda this evening.
It's good to see you in person.
Yeah,
See you in
good to see you
person.
first. It is nice.
And so we're here tonight to inform you of the changes and different programs that are happening in 2024. And if you take away nothing else from this presentation, we are staying until after the meeting to help and answer any questions and provide any technical support that you might need. So we're here after the meeting. Number one takeaway. So tonight we're going to talk about new email addresses, this new tool, the Civic Clerk board portal access, the stipend program for advisory board members, a new demographics effort that we're undergoing. And if you take away nothing, we'll be here after the meeting.
All right, so the city has issued email addresses for all of our advisory board members. So these are city issued email addresses that are going to be used for official board communications. They will also be tied into our agenda management portal and public meeting portal tool, which is known as Civic Clerk. So this is something that you will be able to log in, view meeting materials, published agendas, approved minutes, have all that packet information available to you as soon as it is published, and then go and see past meetings as well. The city issued email addresses are obviously for board official business only and should only be used as such. All public disclosure rules will apply. So just making sure that emails relating to the conduct of public business, as you all know, are considered public records and would be subject to disclosure. So there is no right to privacy in the use of city issued technology resources. So an email address falls under that.
And there hasn't been up until now either. We just have used different email addresses. Now we are going to have an official city provided one for sending minutes and sending agendas and that sort of thing.
Exactly. Thank you, Paul.
Yep.
So tonight, as Kelly mentioned, we will be available after the meeting. I have all of your email addresses as well as temporary passwords, and we will coordinate with you all on getting access to that. If we don't have devices available this evening, we will follow up with you at a separate time and get you set up. Do not fret.
Okay.
The Civic Clerk Board Portal, as mentioned, this is a portal that allows public transparency and access to all of our public meeting materials. It has a really robust key search term. It has all of our public meetings available on it, and it also offers a board portal side where you all as advisory board members will get to be able to see everything that you are assigned to. So being library board members, you will see all of the library board materials in one convenient area. And it will also enhance the live meeting process. So that is something that we will be able to take roll call, account for attendance at meetings, motions, seconds, votes, all of that. Some future features that we'll come back and touch on will be electronic roll call and electronic voting. That is something that you would be able to participate in logged into the meeting. And when an electronic vote is cast, you'll be able to select and cast your vote that way. So more to come on that.
And we also have loaner iPads that we'll show you after the meeting so that if you don't have a device that you want to use during the meeting, we have one for you. And that board portal is really neat because let's say you come in late to a meeting. The board portal shows you exactly where we are in the meeting. So you're never lost, and it increases accessibility for the public so they can see on the screen if they're watching at home, they can see who voted, who motioned, everything that they need, because we don't expect the public to be Robert's Rules experts. They come here when they're passionate about a certain issue. And so we want to make it as easily digestible as possible so that they can really participate in government.
Yes.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes,
Is there a spot we could share like draft documents that aren't viewable by the public? Like if we're drafting a letter or something like that, is there a spot for that? Or is everything on there viewable to the public?
So the Civic Clerk platform is used for the public meeting materials only. It's not a collaboration tool.
Okay.
So it is something that would be just what has been approved, finalized. Obviously, if we have amendments to an agenda, we will re-upload that and have meeting materials a part of the record, but it is not used for collaboration.
Yeah, so I can still make my draft budget documents and things on my work computer and save them
Yes,
there until they're
yes, yep.
ready to be presented.
Of
Okay,
course.
fabulous.
All right, so I'm going to talk about the advisory board member stipend program. So this is a brand new initiative. It was approved in October by the city council. And if you could go to the next slide. Thank you. So this program is intended to reduce barriers to participation. So we want to make it easier for the public to even consider serving as a board member. Right now, we all have different costs sitting at this table tonight. There's childcare costs, transportation, high-speed internet for someone who's attending remotely. And so this program recognizes that you're volunteers and there's an opportunity cost that may be too high. It may be a barrier for people to participate. So on the next slide, we have kind of a sample of this concept where we have 3 different advisory board members with 3 different opportunity costs for being here. So our first member is retired. There's no children at home. They have their own vehicle. At the end of the day, it's costing them about $3 in gas to be here. Now, that $3 is coming from a fixed income. So that's still a significant cost that could be spent on something else. Community member 2 has children under 5. They're a single parent vehicle owner, working 9 to 5. So they have some pretty high, $53 for childcare because of those little ones. And our third community member, they have children who may not need as much childcare, but they're using public transit. And while the public transit may not cost as much, it does have a time cost. And so that will result in the same amount of childcare costs. So we want to recognize that there is a cost there. And so this applies to all of our advisory boards, and it applies to any city council task force or ad hoc advisory boards that they create in the future. So who it does not apply to are employees and regional boards like public utilities districts and council members. So this is the only thing that's mandatory about this program is that you opt in or opt out. So it is not mandatory that you participate, but we're here tonight to help you get into the opt-in and opt-out part of the program. It is $50 per meeting with a cap of $500 a year. That's paid out quarterly. And if you decide to opt in, you'll be working directly with our finance team and our new platform Payment Works. So you don't have to send us or Holly your tax information. You do it directly online with our secure portal. What else should I share here? We are not tax advisors. So we want to make real clear that you should consult your tax professional for any advice on stipend receipts. So we are going to be, as we work throughout the year and hear about experiences and see who participates, we'll be reporting back to council each year with the metrics on this program and any effects, any barriers, any challenges. The people who are involved right now are the city manager's office, the finance department, and the city clerk. So what to expect?
Any questions so far? So once we get you all into your city issued email inboxes, there is a invite request form waiting for you all that will thank you for your service on the Lacey Library Board and also give you the opportunity to open the request and either opt in or opt out by drop down. And then if you are opting in, we ask that you accept the terms of the program. And then the rest of the fields are just auto-populated to what information we currently have on file for you. So if there is an opportunity that we need to update, things have changed, you can go ahead and make those changes and it will provide that information for us to update in our system. If no changes are needed, they're fine to just be left as is. I do encourage, there's a checkbox at the bottom of the form that says, send me a copy of my responses. This is a great tool, especially if you need to follow up with staff or have any additional questions after the fact, just so you have a record of what was submitted. Once you complete the form and submit that, if you do choose to opt in, you will get a thank you message confirming your choice to opt in. And then notifying you, as Kelly mentioned, that a separate email from our electronic payment platform, PaymentWorks, will invite you to create an account in order to get that electronic payment. That will not be an immediate email. It will come later on in the future once we've been able to send everything, all the information up to our finance department, and then they will issue out the emails to those members who have opted in for this platform.
Alyssa, will the email come to the official city email
It will-
to the board members?
It will, yes. So we are and as part of all of this communication, as your role as an advisory board member will be on the city issued email only. But we will wait to make sure that you have got it up, running, confirmed, and it's accessible before we just stop communicating with your alternate email at this time. And obviously, any questions or concerns or troubles accessing anything, my information is scattered throughout. You'll know how to get a hold of me. Please reach out. As Kelly mentioned, some trusted communications, PaymentWorks, that is gonna come from our finance department. That is something that is legitimate. It is something that we need to complete in order to issue electronic payments. And then the form itself that we just reviewed is coming from, it will say my name, but also Smartsheet. Smartsheet is a trusted communicator that is kind of our automated form that is gathering all this information for us. So safe to click. All right. Okay, good.
Demographics. So if you asked any of us who serves on our advisory board, demographic wise, we cannot answer that question. So it is very difficult to answer the question, how representative of the community is your advisory board leadership?
Gotcha.
So we have put together a new demographic survey. It'll be 11 questions. And the purpose is to identify the missing perspectives in the community that we're not doing. We need to do better, and we need to do outreach and engagement.
Sure.
The purpose of this information is not to weed out applicants. This is not used during the application process. This is used for the outreach process when we know that we have vacancies and we need to start fanning out and being more strategic in our outreach and engagement. This is anonymous. This is not associated, so that's why we're here to make sure that you know that that is a separate survey. We will email it to you. We also have it on the iPads, and it is never associated with your personal information. So how will we use this? We're going to be aggregating this, and we're going to be comparing it against national, state, county, local information so that we can definitively say that, hey, these are the perspectives that we're missing. So these are the topics: age, racial identity, ethnic identity, what languages do you speak? And we have a long list of languages because we really want to capture the diversity of what we have here. Disability, annual income, home ownership. How many of our board leaders own their own homes? Do we have the renter's perspective? Do we have the perspective of those who might be houseless? Gender identity, sexual orientation, highest level of education, and veteran status. Where possible, we're comparing this to census data or other similar data. Of course, this is not going to match apples to the census, but we are trying to make our best effort to start knowing and start being able to answer these questions. And we are here after the show. Are there any questions?
Question, but just a comment. I think it's really exciting that the city is working to make it more accessible for the public to come to and participate in meetings, and also to potentially participate on boards. So I'm really grateful that the city is diving into this. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Well done.
Any questions for Alyssa or Kelly?
I'm currently reading Hugh Howey's Silo series. I'm on book 2.
Hey,
I love the Libby app. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
it really is the best app.
We will be here for.
So we heard you might be here after.
We might be here with,
There's a
we'll see you
rumor.
shortly.
All right.
All right. Next, we have election of 2024 board officers. We have two positions that we elect every January. Chair, and Scott always corrects me because I always say it wrong. It's chair and secretary.
Well, it's vice chair slash secretary.
See, every year. So chair and then vice chair slash secretary. So I was the chair in 2023 and Pam was our vice chair slash secretary. So are there any members of this board who are interested in serving in those roles for the 2024 year? This is where we all don't make eye contact.
Yes, exactly.
Sometimes being really direct,
Yeah, I can see what's going on there.
I am willing to take my turn.
And I'm willing to do whatever the board needs, as long as, like last year, you remember that, you know, you're okay with me doing a mediocre job because we're so busy, so.
As the person who lost the minutes to me.
Well, that's why you should go for the chair this time. They don't have to worry about that.
Just be the chair.
Where can I best serve?
Oh, what a lovely question. It's an open discussion. I mean,
Yeah.
however folks feel, and Sophie, you should absolutely feel free to chime in here as well. We're not going to, you know, recruit you to either of those positions, don't worry, but.
And you and your current role?
No, I was just actually going to make a comment, and especially in light of the presentation we just had. And I'm not, well, so I think my appointment is about done. And I was actually toying with whether or not I would continue. And in light, I mean, do we need for me to step back so we can change the diversity on the panel? I mean,
May I make a comment about that?
certainly.
The library also is seeking to better reflect the makeup of our community and our staffing.
Mhm.
But we are doing that when vacancies occur. So over the course of time, naturally vacancies will occur. If you feel that, you know, I've done enough and I'm ready to go do something else and want to step back,
Mhm.
by all means. But please don't make that decision simply because you feel you're taking a spot you shouldn't occupy. Does
Well,
that make sense?
It makes sense. Yes, thank you for saying
Yeah,
that.
because I also want to add in that there's lots of different types of diversity.
Mhm.
Age is one of them,
Yes.
okay? Like we saw a whole list on there, you know,
Mhm.
age, veteran status, disability, all of those kind of things.
Right.
I can guarantee this group right here, while we are not as diverse as we could be ethnically, looking at all of us, or racially, and it would be great to have that be a little bit better. We also have a lot of other diversities that may not necessarily be seen, but still have good perspectives. So by all means, if you're like, you know, this was fun, but I'm ready to go do something else, then of course. And the city will use that opportunity to, you know, recruit where they feel like they need a missing perspective. But don't make that your sole reason.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to throw it out there. I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy doing this and, you know, and so,
Yeah.
okay.
I would miss you.
Oh, well, thank you.
Yeah.
But no, I don't, I'm happy to keep doing minutes if you would like me to do that, but I don't want to be the chair. I don't want to be the chair, no.
Charlie, you wanna arm wrestle?
Flip a coin.
I can't remember when your term ends. Would you have to be reappointed if we elected you?
Yeah, I think so. I think I'm pretty sure it's February, March of 24. I haven't looked at it recently, but I think I looked at it a few months ago and said, oh, I need to think about this, so.
I looked a couple days ago, but I know that I'm good through a long time to go.
Yeah, because we had to reappoint you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think 2 years.
2 years ago.
It's actually easier to be the chair than it is the secretary.
Much easier. Yeah.
I don't mind taking notes. I just, you know.
And I'm happy to provide backup if you were gone or something, or, you know, needed some assistance as well.
Is a great amount of reassurance. I appreciate your expertise.
So can I just kind of move that we nominate Charla for position for chair.
I would second that, as long as you're okay with
I
that.
would accept the nomination.
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Okay, all those, yeah. All those in favor,
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, Charla, you are our 2024 chair. Now, let me just clarify, was that motion for both chair and vice chair
Just for
secretary?
chair.
That
That was just for chair.
Okay, so we need to still do vice chair secretary.
Yeah.
Do I hear a motion?
You want to vote? Go motion.
Do motion, Sophie.
I'll move
I move
that Pam
that Pam
be our vice chair secretary
be our vice chair secretary
for twenty
for
twenty-four.
2024.
Robert's rules.
Yeah.
I'll second that.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Any opposed? Okay, Pam, thank you for continuing on, and we will cross the bridge when we come to it of
Reappointing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
As a comment on the status. Due to my lack of of electronic capability, but I'm also on 2 other boards. And so I've resisted taking a position as president or anything else like that, or running for any of. But I'm on the facility advisory committee for the school district. Because I spent 8 years as Lake Washington School facility. And then Snoqualmie Valley School District. And so. Based on my background, I've kind of sat back and said, well, now this is my 3rd retirement, and so I'm gonna stay retired.
Yeah, that's fair.
Reasonable.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'd like to stay on that position at the time being. If this electronic and if I get into this darn phone and I mean, I have no idea what these things can do. But obviously, I've got 6 kids all over the country. And God, they stay in communication that just surprised the hell out of me. And it's all through this electronic.
Yeah.
It's a fabulous
And
tool.
So I'm being dragged into it because they say it's time for me to join.
We could help you with that too. We can help you with that.
Yeah.
So other than that, I'll get through that and then I'll see where I stand.
Okay, I think that's fair. We always appreciate your insights and perspectives in whatever role you're on the board, so.
Yes, we do.
Okay, Holly, do you have a update for us?
Yes, did everybody get, apologies for the rather bit of a delay. I have been out with illness for the first of the year because that's not been great, but I'm back now and hopefully back for a while. So I sent this out yesterday, I think it was, day before yesterday. Did anybody not receive the library manager's report via email? Okay, everybody got it, great. I will just do some highlights. We're, finally, post-COVID, I mean, COVID's still around, but we're, back to normal operations. We are fully back with in-person programming in the buildings. We're doing outreach in the community. We are seeing increased use. For example, I'd like to share with you that today at our Kaleidoscope early learning program playgroup, which is partnered with the Child Care Action Council that they have at the library, there were 91 people there. And at our Lego program this afternoon, there were 83. So people are coming back to the library, which is very nice. And it has been hopping. We, Timberland has updated our website. You may have noticed a slightly different look when you're on there. If anybody has trouble accessing it or has questions, I am available to assist, provide that for you. New catalog, which is much more effective and accurate than the old one was. We're all very happy with it. New newsletter coming out, new way of booking meeting rooms. And I'm also want to just highlight that I was really proud of my district, Timberland. As you may be aware, 2023 was a year where we saw a really huge increase in book challenges across the country at school and public libraries. And we did have someone from our five county district proposed that, suggests that Timberland ought to impose a rating system on our materials. And we're not going to do that. And our collection development director, Andrea, put together a very clear and concise message about why we are not going to do that. We have a rating system in the library already. It's called the picture book section, the juvenile book section, the teen book section, and the adult section of fiction and nonfiction. And we really strongly support the freedom to read and the ability for parents and caregivers to work with their own children to determine what their children should read. But they do not have any right to decide what other people's children should read. That is up to the parent and caregiver of that child. And I will die on that hill. Thank you. So, and I want to just make that really clear. I'm very proud of Timberland for taking that stance. There's not always been, sometimes libraries don't find themselves with the ability to do that for various reasons. And I'm really glad that Timberland has done that. We have a variety of materials available in our library. If I don't have something on my shelf that offends you, I have done my collection development wrong. But that's the choice. It's the freedom of choice to read and for children to explore and for adults to explore materials or choose not to. But we don't do censorship, and we're not going to do any other kind of rating system other than what we have already provided. If you have any additional questions about any of that and wish to talk to me further, I am always at your disposal. And then finally, I just want to do a huge shout out to the city of Lacey for our gorgeous new paint job in the library. It looks stunning. We took 20 years off the building with that new paint job. It's beautiful. I just can't tell you how happy we all are with it and how much the public loves it and has commented on it. So thank you again for all that you do to care for our facility. It's a beautiful building and looks as good as or if possibly even better than when it was built in 91. Ooh, good news. We've managed to get an extra person at the library. So instead of 23 staff, beginning next Tuesday, I will now have 24. We were able to hire another library assistant by doing a little judicious rearranging of hours when we had a vacancy. And that will help us a whole bunch with getting all of the material work that needs to be done in the building so that our info people, our librarians and specialists can get to work doing programming and getting outreach and going out in the community and doing all their good work. So we're very happy about that. Here, I have several stats of the things that I will highlight. I want to thank AARP, since Pam's here, for the tax help. They helped over 561 community members do taxes last year. We distributed over 1,164 books to participants in the summer library program. We had 164 early learning events. Those are like story times over the course of the year with almost 6,000 attendees. And we even helped 21 voters on election day, which is not bad for an off year. We will once again be providing voter assistance service at the library with election staff for 2024, and I expect it will be slightly busier. Yeah. It will be the first presidential election we'll have done voter assistance because in 2020 we were closed because of the pandemic. At Lacey, the big library, physical material borrowing increased by 9% over the previous year. 3% increase in digital borrowing. I think that's kind of finally leveling it off a little bit. I think we're getting close to all the people that want Libby that are using the big library that have it.
Yeah, really.
Let's build that up.
Yeah.
We had, at Hawks Prairie, we had an increase of 82% of physical materials borrowed. We're up to almost 50,000 borrowed, over 27,000 the previous year, and a 366% increase in digital materials borrowed. We had a lot of people found Libby at Hawks Prairie this year, and it was good. Also, our newer library, Thurston, is up to 18 stops throughout Thurston County. Some are private, like they go to Head Starts and things, and some are public where anybody can come. And they started up in the summer and lent out 1,418 physical materials in 2023. If you count digital and physical materials, 2023, my libraries broke 1 million for the first time.
Wow.
So we're busy. We are at this point the busiest library in the district, with Olympia a very close second.
Can you
Any
remind me
questions?
how the Anywhere Library Thurston works?
Yes, so
Okay.
we started reinventing our mobile library services in 2023, last year, in spring. And Thurston County was the first county pilot project. In each county, because we have multiple libraries per county, obviously. Each county has a hub library where an Anywhere Library Public Services specialist or librarian, if they have their master's degree, works out of. And Lacey is the hub library for Thurston County. So I supervise Amarina Harpool, she is amazing, who is our Thurston County Anywhere Library specialist. And what she started doing and what she does is she reaches out and visits with a variety of places in Thurston County, both in town and rural, where people already gather, where having a library stop might be beneficial. So we're talking, she's going to all the Head Starts in Lacey once a month and doing like 10 story times a day. She is going to Cielo Food Bank in Olympia and providing book checkouts and Wi-Fi available for the folks there while they're, as well as activities for the kids while folks are getting their food. And she also speaks Spanish, so that's a Spanish speaking site that's very helpful. She is going to the Rosemont elder care facility and does book checkouts and brings holds to people out in that area and takes returns. Down in Rochester, she's got 2 or 3 sites going with different groups, kids and the Rainier Senior Center and the Rochester Food Bank and just all of this really great outreach. And she's bringing book checkouts, Wi-Fi, printing soon, working on getting a printer that she can take around on there. We are just about have our new retrofitted van that has a device on the back that can lower book carts so she can set it up a little bit more, do a slightly better setup. It's not a bookmobile, it's a van. So rather than having people come on the vehicle to check things out, we take things off the vehicle and set up in the partner space. It's been going pretty great. Yeah, she's just been absolutely amazing. And so, and then we have multiple staff at Lacey, at Tumwater and Olympia that are trained as her backup so that if she does, needs a vacation day or is sick, one of us we can take that up for her. And Blake, who is the only one trained so far, because we're still getting everybody else, has already done a couple of different stops at Rainier and at one of the daycares and is pretty good at it now. Good question.
Okay,
That's great.
thank you, Holly. Is this the appropriate time to pass the baton to Charlotte to talk about next meetings, or do we not do that until the next meeting?
I think you would conclude this meeting and you and I can get together in between and have a little turn off.
Good try.
I'm not trying to get, yeah. Just don't wanna be, barreling ahead. if it's
Friday
your
says
job.
you need to finish this one.
All right, so let's take a look at our calendars and figure out our next meeting date. Is there anything particular coming up that would sort of inform our next meeting date, or should we just plan for?
Oh, I should, I'm not sure if the information got to you, but Rick, City Manager Rick Walk, did get a chance to stop and speak to me and mentioned that he has us for the budget request that I did for this year to build study rooms and things, not funding it in 2024, but he has put us on the calendar for the project management planning for 2025. I need to ask him if that means it's potentially also gonna go ahead and be funded, but I will, so what you're probably gonna see me do is re-ask the budget request.
Yeah.
For this year, for next year. And it sounds like maybe there's a chance that next year, the project management, and it's not so much about funding, it's not a hugely expensive project. But the city's got a lot of projects going on and we just need to get on their schedule, if we want them to help do the project management.
Thank you for that update. That's good to know.
You're welcome.
Okay. Do we want to look at something in March?
Which is pretty good. The second Wednesday is the 13th.
I have an afternoon conflict with the 13th and the 20th. And the 27th.
Yeah, I can't
Could
do
we
the
maybe go to
23rd.
April?
We
Yeah,
can.
absolutely.
Is there a reason why we would need to meet before April?
That's what I'm thinking
We
not.
usually do 4 per year. We usually do like this one sometime in the spring, one to get the budget put together and presented, and then they're usually in the summer, like in June or July, which is totally fine, and then a fall one. Unless something else exciting is happening where we need to have more often. So the second Wednesday in April is the 10th.
Yes.
For me, for everybody, so does that work?
Okay.
10th of April.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, let's put that on the calendar. 10th. For the good of the order, I'm wondering, Charlotte, if you want to say anything about the author event that's coming up?
Oh, thank you for the opportunity. Lacey Loves to Read is the partnership between Lacey Timberland Library, North Thurston Public Schools, and Lacey Parks Rec. And I'm saying their name wrong, Parks
Parks and Recreation.
and Culture.
Yeah. And a whole lot of other community
Whole bunch of
partners.
Other supporters.
Yeah.
And we bring an author every year to Lacey. Seattle does one book, one city, but that's geared towards adults because we are geared towards students. We look for authors who have a range of books, from picture books up to young adult books, and we do one community, one author. This year, we are bringing Newbery Medal winning author Donna Barba Higuera, who has books in both English and Spanish, and she will be at the Koval Center adjacent to North Thurston High School on February 15th. And I think it's 6 o'clock. It is, yep, thank you. It's open to the community, free, and she will talk about her books and her life as a writer. So,
February 15th.
February 15th.
Day after
Yeah.
Valentine's Day.
And you tell me your last name again, please?
Higuera, Higuera.
Thank you.
And if you want more information, you can go to the school district's website,
Mhm.
which is nthurston.k12.us/read.
Yeah, read, that's right, yep.
Read like read a book. And that will take you to most of our past authors. We have a lot of award-winning authors.
And this year, we also, just like last year, we've, I say we and I mean Raina, because I fully passed the baton. Our youth librarian, Raina Sador, is overseeing the teen cover art and writing contest. And where we invite kids going into 6th grade up through 12th grade to submit art for a cover art design for the book, and then short stories. And usually around a theme that the selected author tends to use in their own work. And the winners are included in a ebook that we put together and make available in our catalog to be read directly on our new website. So anyone can click on it and read it. And we also print a copy out and put it in our For Kids by Kids book collections in the teen section here at Lacey. And there's also like Amazon gift cards and stuff too, but basically they get published, which is kind of cool.
Very cool. And Holly, is it still true that if you go to the Hawks Prairie branch, you can see some of the bookmark contest winners?
Yes, we have changed out part of our, we actually have it at Lacey too.
Oh.
Both at Lacey and at Hawks Prairie in our respective children's areas. We have framed this year's bookmark contest grand prize winners. And that stays as art throughout the year until the next contest and we get new ones. So it's a really great place to go and see those. Especially when all the bookmarks get picked up and really quickly people love those. So you can still see them. They're all blown up big as posters. They look great.
Do you have a a public confrontation going on with wanting to change and restrict books in the libraries?
We have some interested parties in some of our counties that would like us to take their suggestions in installing a rating system.
If it,
And
If
we
it-
are not, but they do not have they are not on our board of trustees. And so it is simply a suggestion which we are not taking up.
if you need somebody to appear in support of stay the hell out of our libraries, I'd be glad to volunteer.
James, thank you.
At
I
any of
always
those.
appreciate your passion. Thank you. I'm happy to report. If any of you wish to view, of course, you know, so here we are an advisory board for the city of Lacey. So we, advise regarding the facility because Timberland Regional Library does all of the programs and services and things. The Timberland Regional Library is governed. We have a governing board, which is our board of trustees, which is made up of appointees from all the county commissioners from the 5 counties. And that's who sets and approves the policies and things like that, that Cheryl, our executive director, who is like the equivalent of our city manager, Rick Walk. Council, the city staff puts everything together, brings it to the council, the library, all the library staff bring things together, present it to the board for approval. And we have had at our board meetings, some public comment, all in support of the library and the services that we currently provide and the freedom to read and the stance that we are taking from both staff and community members. And we greatly appreciate that. So feel free to take a look, sometime. I believe one of them is happening tonight, but I tell you, if James, and I'm being serious, if we end up needing somebody else to come and stand an advocate, I will reach out to you. I promise.
All right. My background is unusual, let's put it that way.
You have a wide variety of very interesting things that you have done in your life. I do know that.
My first through 8th grade is at 12 different schools in 8 different states. So, I mean, I'd be glad to talk about anybody who's stupid enough to think that restricting libraries is of any advantage.
I appreciate that. It is a small minority of folks that are interested in it. They're just loud. But, we have our work to do, and we've so far seen overwhelming community support, both online and in person and in meetings and in our libraries for the work that we're doing and the principles that we consider important. And so we really appreciate that for all of our 5 counties. We got some great people that we're serving in our district. We're very happy to be serving them. But I'll keep you in mind, James, I promise.
Okay,
Yeah, so far so good though. So far we're good.
well, my younger brother who died in 2016 is the Raymond Murray who New York awards the Raymond Murray Librarian of the Year Award.
That was him. I did not know that. Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so
So it is
I do
important.
have an interest.
Runs in the family.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're in the right
Yeah,
place. for
I
that.
am one of 214 cousins. Name a state and I got a representative.
His network is even more.
Network is vast. Well, thank you all. But yeah, so we're so far so good. I will keep you posted. Just wanted to say that is a stance that Timberland took this year, and it has been so far well received by our public.
Okay. Anything else for the good of the order tonight? Just a reminder that we can visit with our city friends after that. Sorry, Charlotte, did you have something?
I would like to point out that our next meeting will occur during National Library Week.
Oh,
This is
Wow,
that.
cupcakes.
Cool, I'll bring treats.
Should bring these to you.
Oh, well,
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
maybe we should.
we'll have refreshments maybe. If they let us eat in the council chambers, we'll have.
Thank you. That's very fun. Okay. I think we are done with our business for tonight. So it's 6:25 and we are adjourned.
Thank you, everybody.